Hello guys, NautoAce here, and I want to give my thoughts on one of Sakurai's video on his YouTube about the history of Super Smash Bros. Brawl and potentially the future of the franchise. So in the recap on that video is he kind of told the story of what happened with Brawl, and apparently I was shocked that Iwata announced they're going to do a Super Smash Bros. Game for the Wii even before forming a team and doing the blueprints for it, because even Sakurai was shocked to a point that he said that what would happen if I'm not on board of this project. And Iwata basically said was, well, we're just gonna make Super Smash Bros. Melee with Wi-Fi connection and add more characters. So in my opinion about that one is, I don't think that's bad, but to some extent you have to kind of define what Super Smash Bros. Is. And if the quality is not there, then it might get the reputation ruined to some extent. And that was like interesting about it, to a point that Sakurai said, okay, I'll do it. But it was unfortunate that because of that, he had to drop a lot of projects. And he even said right now that he even felt bad that he had to do it. But business 101, what can you do about it? So that's the gist of how it started. It wasn't even like with the proper channel. It was just, hey, we want to do a Super Smash Bros. Game for the Wii. Have you been prepared? Do you have a plan? We're working on it right now. I'm like, oh boy, not good there. So, but it is what it is. If you played Brawl, it's a fun game. Yeah, there's some potato situation with that one, but that's in the past. So the interesting part here is the future, and he sort of gave a hint to some extent. Because what he said was, and he even had to do an asterisk, that he said it was safe to assume that on the next Nintendo console, which I'm going to be talking about that on a different video, there will be a Smash Bros. Well, is it really a hint? To some extent, no. It's more of a no duh. Like, of course, there will be a Smash Bros. On the next console. It just makes sense. There's always been a Mario Kart game on most of the console. Animal Crossing to some extent, and etc, etc, etc. So yeah, like that's a safe assume that there will be a new Smash Bros. The question is, what will it be? So he said one or two things. Either one, separate the franchise, the series, and reboot it. So go back to square one, add some new feature, maybe new character that's never been before. Kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 versus Marvel vs. Capcom 2, where part 2, everyone was there since Children of the Atom. But then when it comes to Marvel vs. Capcom 3, they changed the graphic, the mechanics, and they add some new characters. Granted, they got rid of some of the old one, but that's one way. That's what Sakurai is saying. That's my guess. The other one that a lot of people say is just because Super Smash Bros. Ultimate some sort of Pandora box. Let it be that and just make it a deluxe, like Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Just do some minor tweak of the game, add more characters. So my theory is going to be that for the next one is that they might just do Ultimate Deluxe for the new Nintendo console. So what's going to happen is all the characters from Ultimate and the DLC is going to be on the base roster. So you got all of that. So there are more characters now. Oh boy. And then DLC will be more new character that's never been in the game. Kind of safe bet, makes sense. A lot of people would like that. The tournament player maybe, but the casual surely. Because if you do the other way around with the reboot, some might say, hey, where's my favorite character? How come it's not there? How come there's less roster than before? I mean, granted, you probably build it from the ground up. Again, people might not like that. The hardcore gonna accept it, but the casual might say, why would I play this one, which is less content, versus Ultimate? So, like, in my opinion, I think the best course of action is do Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe on the new console. All the characters, including the Fighter Pass, on the base roster. Just add more characters. And, of course, I wouldn't be surprised if this game would be $70, kind of like Tears of the Kingdom. Again, if Sony's doing it, if Microsoft's doing it, why not Nintendo? Yeah, it's gonna suck, but Jim Ryan opened that Pandora's box, so you really can't do anything about it. So, the another question is, should Sakurai be in it? So this is a little tricky, because I did watch Maximilian's video, and he got a point. And I did talk about it. The influence of Masahiro Sakurai. This guy is a legend. A lot of Japanese developer company respect this guy. When this guy talks, when the guys deliver, he delivers. And like I said in my impression on my main channel with the DLC character, he respect the character and its franchise. He shows the love of the character. It's not just, let's put the character in, cha-ching, money. No, he puts a lot of love. He puts a lot of integrity with the character that it kind of show what is that character is all about. So that's the key thing about him. And of course, those third-party characters, if it wasn't for Sakurai, you probably wouldn't be able to get them. Because, again, another story is, and I did talk about it, PlayStation Battle All-Star Royale, Sony's version of Smash Bros. And they were trying to get some characters. They were even trying to get Cloud. Square Enix said to them, to Superbot, who the hell are you? They're nobody. They don't trust them. So why would we land that character to them? So you're going to see there. Cloud in PlayStation All-Star makes sense because he was at one point a PlayStation character, but Square said, I don't know who you are. We don't know you're an unproven company. Why would we lend you our IP? In the case of Sakurai, his name is up there. He proved it himself. There you go. And like Max even said, well, why not someone else do it? How can we just have a project first? Someone else do it. They probably don't have the confidence and they don't want to take the blame, because if you know what happened in the past in some other game, sometimes bad can happen, i.e. Resident Evil. Resident Evil 4 with Shinji Mikami. Great game. Not my cup of tea, but Resident Evil 4 was good. Resident Evil 5 and 6, different directors, different direction. And you know what happened, to a point that they had to go to the drawing board, and they got lucky with Resident Evil 7 and so on. It went back to its roots. But the problem to some extent that if you don't have the original creator or the person behind it, it's not going to do anything good. Metal Gear survived without Kojima. Look what happened. The game was like, what is this crap? It was bad. I played the demo. It wasn't that good. So you kind of see there. So it is important that Sakurai should be there, but to some extent that if someone else takes over, it is what it is. And that person might not be influential. So it might say, hey, can we have this character? They were in the past game. They might say, well, we don't know who you are. And that's what Max was saying, that it's a good idea that Sakurai should be at least involved, maybe even negotiation, like an overseer, not so much of the director, because you can tell when you watch that video, even so that he loves Super Smash Bros., that's his creation. He's also feel like, I'm tired, I don't want to do this anymore to some extent. And it's kind of sad, like in all his life, it's always been Smash Bros., Smash Bros., Smash Bros., and because he has a lot of respect with Iwata. The reason he did Ultimate was it was a final request from Iwata before he passed away to have a Smash game on the Switch, and he basically said was, well, I got an idea, let's use the base from the Wii U and make this Ultimate, and there you go. That's why to some extent most people do call it a brand new port, because it is based on the Wii U with added stuff. It's not built from the ground up. If it was, it would be taking longer. So that's the reason why people kind of push, like, yeah, you know what, it is a port. To some extent, it's a brand new port. Whatever. I mean, even heck, Yo Video Game got flagged for that one, but that's in the past. So my thoughts is, should Sakurai be in the next Smash Brother? Well, it depends on what his position is. If you're going to make him as a director or producer, probably not, because you can tell he doesn't want to do it. But if he's there like sort of an overseer, negotiator, then kind of makes sense to some extent. Let someone else do it. How come he doesn't have a protege? Who knows? He's busy. Maybe he doesn't need one. He doesn't know how to make what. None of my business. It is what it is. But for me, I say let someone else do it. And to some extent, just as of right now, just stick with Deluxe. That's all it is. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe for the new Nintendo console. So that's my thoughts. I think just stick with that one. As for Sakurai, like I said, overseer position, because again, something new would be nice, but at the same time, you need that influence, and only Sakurai has that influence as of right now. So that's my thoughts. With that, I'll see you guys later.